What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Wow, this is a little dark right now. That's okay. We are here stocking the shelves. Felicia usually stocks the shelves. I make a video every Monday and sometimes during the week. If you're new here, we own this grocery store for about 2.5 years now. It's been going good. Welcome to our financial journey. And if you're into personal finance and small business, please subscribe down below and like this video. We really appreciate all the support this channel's been getting. So let's get into it. We need to talk about a few things that I've been noticing lately. There she is, filling it up for another big sales day. Felicia and I get paid every Monday, and you know, over the last 2 years, we've noticed that every time we get paid, we really need to focus on what exactly we do as soon as we get paid. And we've gotten really good at, you know, allocating our money as soon as it hits our account. Even before it hits our account, sometimes we just always have, you know, a place for each dollar, and it really helps us not spend on things that become just wants, like eating out, or, you know, Felicia has a Gucci flip-flop addiction, and, you know, just things that we don't need to spend our money on. We started allocating our money before even seeing it. So we want to share that with you guys and just show you exactly how we've been kind of managing our money a little bit better this year than we did last year. And we've only started getting paid through this business last year, so it's kind of still fresh to us, but it really helped in the long-term game of things. So number one is our retirement fund. We never thought we'd ever be planning for retirement until we kind of started this business and realized, you know, if we are self-employed forever, we don't really have a pension through an employer. We have to kind of allocate that for ourselves, you know. So we've placed 10% of each paycheck into our retirement fund. Your situation may be different. You may be able to, you know, invest into a 401k that your employer matches, and I highly advise between 5 to 15% of your money goes straight to your retirement before you even see it. We got good at that. We had to do it ourselves. When you're self-employed, you do many of these things yourselves. Once you set them up, it's automated. You don't even see the money. It just goes straight to your retirement fund. And you know, you really have to think about what you're going to do when you're not able to work anymore. So we really started, you know, just 10% right off the top goes into a retirement fund before anything else. And it just helps knowing that, you know, that money is untouchable and we can't spend it even if we wanted to. It's in a separate account, and that's the way I advise for you guys to do it. Just before you even see it, just get rid of it. Well, don't get rid of it, but, you know, put it towards your retirement. A lot of you, I had to do this because Felicia has a Gucci flip-flop addiction that I mentioned, but, you know, she can wear those Gucci flip-flops when she retires. Right now, we can't really pay for that, so just, you know, I'm trying not to let her hear this, but yeah, we don't want the whole paycheck going towards that because she's trying to buy a pair a week right now. So there's going to be many employers that will pay you, you know, with a check or with cash. That may be old school, but I advise it goes straight to your checking account. So you have your, you know, your automated bills that can come in and out of this checking account. So you want, you know, your paycheck to go straight to your checking account. So, you know, you're not tempted to, on the way home, cash it out and, you know, pick up like $30 worth of Wendy's, or, you know, use cash to buy a pair of Gucci flip-flops or something. You know, you just want to be able to see that streamline from your employer to the bank, so then you can start, you know, moving your money to where it needs to go, not where you want it to go with temptation. But things, you know, like your car insurance, your utilities, you know, all of your your automated payments will be able to be covered if your paycheck goes straight to your checking account rather than, you know, in hand, tempted to spend, and, you know, before it even hits the bank, it could be 70, 60, 50% lower than it would have been if it just went straight to your checking account. So that's what I advise you set up with your employer. If you are, you know, self-employed like us, just make sure it's automated. You don't want to be tempted to, you know, cash out a check and, you know, spend it on something that you didn't need to buy in the first place. So try to automate these things as much as possible so the money is not in your hand to spend. And that's what we kind of learned over the last year, that, you know, if we don't have the money available on us, we won't spend it. Yes, you know, you can buy things on your phone and everything like that, but just the physical aspect of having cash or your credit card always on you with money is probably gonna tempt you to spend it. So I got you guys set up on a nice jar of tomato sauce here, all homemade, no preservatives, you know, all natural stuff, no added sugars. So if you ever want to pick up a jar, just let me know and I will send you one with free shipping. I wish I could do that, but we're not currently there yet. So just hang tight. All my tomato sauce tripods need to be here for the videos rather than to sell them anyway. Third thing that will be happening with your paycheck, as soon as you get it, while it's in your checking account, you really want to separate your needs from your wants. So, you know, the typical things you need to survive as a human should be always taken care of. Food, shelter, transportation, utilities, healthcare, whatever it may be. You really need to know that these are the things you need versus these are the things you want. So make sure you're covered in those things before any of the following steps that we're about to list, because, you know, if you can't eat and you can't take care of yourself, then you really can't function and make more money for yourself or even take care of the things that you wanted to buy because you're not taking care of yourself first. So needs versus wants is something you really need to, you know, figure out exactly. Maybe by making a list, you know, we had to allocate, you know, how much we spend per month on rent, how much we spend per month on food, utilities, all that stuff needs to be, you know, you need to know where every dollar is going so you know how much you have left over for the following steps that we're about to list. So, you know, you don't want to be, you know, starving so you can wear a pair of Gucci flip-flops. So the fourth thing that I say to invest your money into is an emergency fund. You never know with life what will happen. Unfortunately, there's always something that will come up that you need to take care of, that you need to have the money available for. So this is why I say, and I recommend for an emergency fund to have at least $2,000 to $3,000 in this emergency fund. Now, obviously it's going to range for how much people make. Some people will only be able to have 500, some people will have 10,000. You really just need to have some sort of safety blanket to cover you in case, you know, you slip and fall, or you can't work for a little while, or, you know, your car breaks down and you need it to get to work. You always want to have that safety net. This emergency fund just gives you the peace of mind, you know, in case something does happen, you have this safety blanket that you don't always have to stress on, you know, okay, in case this happens, or if this happened, I won't be able to take care of it. I don't know where the money's going to come from. I'll probably have to max out a credit card, which will put me in more debt. So just giving you that peace of mind is worth every penny, in my opinion, for this emergency fund. To my olive oil, sunflower oil, coconut oil, and many other oil shelf, you can check out my homemade breads and olives on this side as well, and some fresh bread when it's full tomorrow morning. You'll be able to see that as well. But now, something a little bit more serious than bread and oils. Something that really kind of plagues anyone's financial future, I'd say. Because many of us never get out of this stage, or always carry this and kind of never take care of it, or we pay a little bit and then we buy something else and we just carry something called debt forever, and it eats away at anything that we want to build because of the interest. Jams always sell here. Jams always sell here. And I think the main problem with debt is it feels like free money, or almost available money that you can pay back later. So when you go buy something like Gucci flip-flops, Felicia will probably take out her credit card and be like, okay, it's $1,000 now that I can figure out how to pay off later.
That's lies.
That is a little bit of an exaggeration, but that's a lot of people, and unfortunately, you never actually pay it off. You start paying off a little by little, then you get back to a certain point, and then you add on more debt by saying, okay, it's time to spend again, right? That's why a lot of people, and we were included before we really started taking care of our finances, never truly pay off that credit card, and they're always paying interest every single month on a balance they never really needed. So when me and Felicia were not really getting paid through the store much, or very little, we did rack up some credit card debt. We really had no other choice. But the resolution we found is the best way to pay off your debts in general, not just your credit card debt, was to snowball method. And what the snowball method is where you pay off your lowest balance first and then keep snowballing it to the next highest, the next highest, the next highest. And what it kind of does is it kind of makes you knock off one out, at a time, so you have less to manage. You don't want to be spreading out your money when you don't have much of it to try to pay off all these different debts, and they never go down because you keep adding more debt. So it kind of motivates you to knock one out and keep going, rather than you never actually see progress if you're kind of trickling down 5 different debts, $100 on each, and then they slowly keep adding themselves back up because of the interest rate. So that's the way we did it. I know there's another avalanche method that you could use, but that would be something I wouldn't do unless you had more money to kind of allocate to each debt at one time. So the snowball method would be the way I recommend to do things when you're just starting out. It really kind of keeps you motivated to keep knocking off certain debts and not rebuilding them when they're hit zero. Because when you do see zero on a debt, that's motivation in itself to not build it back up, where you're in that revolving door of interest, spending, paying over and over again. And the sixth thing I'd suggest to do and put your money towards when you get paid is to allocate 6 months of paychecks. Now that may seem impossible when you're just starting out, but if you can allocate a certain amount to get to 6 months of paychecks, it really gives you that leeway, that comfort, that in case you don't perform as well in your business, or things slow down, or you have an off season, or you get laid off, you have that money to float and find another job, or rebrand your business, or whatever it may be. It gives you even more of a comfort net, and it's separate from your emergency fund, because your emergency fund is literally for your car breaks down, or you get sick and you can't actually work. This is a little bit different, as in it gives you another safety net where you don't perform as well in your business, or certain things like that are not technically emergencies. The most important thing that I think this does and really differentiates it from the emergency fund is it gives you that time in between a job that you lost, or you quit, or your business shut down, or you sold a business. It gives you time to actually find something you want to do rather than you have to do to keep paying your bills. It gives you that kind of window of time where you can maybe travel for a week or two before finding what the next thing in your life will be that you want to do to make your regular day-to-day income again. Do you have anything to add to this? She's like on inventory.
I don't have a spending problem.
She's on inventory mode.
And I do not have a
Show them your
spending
Gucci
problem.
flip-flops. Take them off right now.
These are so old, they're probably like 3 years old, and I paid $4.
That's really running it down to the ground, eh? It's like an old used car. It still runs. There's no monthly payment on those, and they work. They get her from point A to point B. She probably shouldn't be wearing those, but we're closed right now because the Health and Safety Board would probably shut us. No, they wouldn't shut us down for that.
No, you're lucky.
But they give you a citation. You cannot wear open-toe shoes in a grocery store.
Who said? I've never heard
What
of
if
that.
something falls, like a heavy apple?
I guess.
Or a watermelon, actually. Whoa! To the next biggest grocery store owner in Canada. Point number 7, the last one I think you should focus on before the other steps, and you can do some of these at the same time. Like you can pay off debt, and then point number 7 would be investing. So you can invest and pay off debt at the same time if you have a really low interest rate on a certain like student loan or something like that. And you can invest at the same time, but you always want to make sure you're taken care of before investing money to make you money. So that's just my opinion on that end. I know some people will say, you can invest money while, you build an emergency fund, or while you take care of your rent and things like that. That's if you have the money already extra. But if you don't, and you're just, starting out your financial journey, those 6 steps should probably be taken care of before you start investing into things like real estate, you know, stocks, options, small businesses like we did. It really would be kind of the last thing I would say when you're just starting out to allocate money into investing when you can't, you know, put food on the table, right? It just makes the most sense. This thing would be kind of obviously one of the most exciting steps in this, you know, 7-step journey with your money. To be honest, it's kind of the only fun part of the 7 steps, because, you know, you really start seeing your money working for you. You don't have to, you know, trade your time for money. You can invest in small businesses, you can invest in tech. You know, real estate would always be something a little bit more exciting than, you know, paying off debt, you know, paying your rent, you know, making sure your utilities aren't too high, building an emergency fund in case you get sick. This one's kind of the most motivating and exciting, and once you start it, you just never want to stop. Like, at this point, like, we're just so motivated to keep growing, and there's so many things we want to do. And with investing and moving our money around and doing different things in small business, that's when it really gets fun, and, you know, you really get excited just thinking about what the possibilities are with your money. Okay, I have you balanced on 2 boxes of cereal right now, so I'm just making sure everything goes according to plan and this thing doesn't fall, because that wouldn't be a good choice for my money management skills to buy a new camera, just because I wanted to set you guys up on a box of cereal to elevate you guys to make a better shot. Yeah, you get where I'm going with it. So welcome back to my office. This is where all the numbers are discussed for this business. I hope you enjoyed this video. The 7 things that you should do as soon as you get paid, and hopefully you follow them. It takes a while to really get motivated to make sure you're paying your retirement fund first and foremost, your debts, your necessities, rather than, you know, spending money on the main things that, you know, people waste their money on: eating out, you know, drinks and takeout. Like, those things, if you really see how much you spend on that every single month, it's actually scary. And until we looked at that, I can tell you, we had no idea. So if you take anything from this video, just see how much money you're actually spending on eating out, coffee, you know, alcohol, things like that. It's depressing. But anyways, if you made it this far, guys, please subscribe down below, and we will continue to make videos like this because we enjoy doing them, and we enjoy talking about finances. So thanks for watching. Have a great night.